Hello, I have something super special for you today. This is my vegan take on the classic shepherd's pie, also known as cottage pie, depending on what is used. Stay tuned for this full recipe. You will not want to miss out. Shepherd's pie is typically made with lamb meat, whereas cottage pie is usually made with ground beef. Since I'm using a plant-based meat that is neither lamb or beef, I'm just going with shepherd's pie today. So let's start with our potatoes. I decided to use half sweet potato and half regular potato for this dish, just to make it a little healthier. I added about half a tablespoon of salt to my water, and I'm going to get these to boil until they are fork tender. Now I'm going to get cutting on my veggies. I have carrots, celery, and onion that we'll start with. And I decided to add some zucchini just because I had it. I did not go out and buy anything for this dish, and when I did read up on it, I read that this was a frugal way for leftovers to be used the next day. So just use what you have. I'm going to start by heating some olive oil. And then I added in my carrots, onion, and celery. Adding some salt to get them to sweat. And a dash of pepper. Once they soften up, add in your substitute meat of choice. I'm using Impossible meat for mine. You can use Beyond, dehydrated mushrooms, soy crumbles, anything you have. Impossible meat is crazy realistic, and if you're plant-based and just don't have the appetite for this, go ahead and use what you like. I encourage you to add your own twist to this as I did. Now I'm seasoning. I added in a little bit of tomato paste just for some extra flavor. It's completely optional. And now I'm adding in my zucchini. There are so many varieties of shepherd's pie out there. I don't think there is a right or wrong way to make this. Now I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of flour, and this is going to help make a little roux so that we can get a gravy started. I mixed that all in before adding the liquid just so that I could prevent any clumps from happening. And then add 2 cups of vegetable stock. I love veggies, and I always try my best to use as many vegetables as I can while I'm cooking. So here I'm adding in some frozen peas. I have this cooking on about medium to high heat, and once the sauce starts to thicken, I will lower the heat. Now we're going to let that finish cooking and check in on our potatoes. Again, once they are fork tender, you'll want to drain the water and begin mashing. We're gonna keep our mashed potatoes very simple, so I just added in some plant-based butter and plant-based milk with a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. Now that I have my creamy potatoes ready, and I have the meat mixture ready to go, I'm going to turn the heat off and pour it into a 9-inch pie pan. Use the back of your spoon to flatten it all out and make room for the potatoes. And start layering those potatoes on top. This was my first time making it, and I have to say that I really do like how simple this dish is. It's really just a matter of layering these two ingredients together and then popping them in the oven to get a nice baked crust on top. Flatten out the potatoes, and then I took a spoon just to get these little swirlies in there, just to add a little bit to the texture. And now my pie is ready for the oven. I have the oven preset at 350 degrees, and you're going to leave this in for about 45 minutes. Yum, there it is. I did have to place this baking sheet on the bottom of this about halfway through baking because all the gravy was oozing out of it. But it just looks so delicious. The house smelled amazing, and I love all the extra gravy on top. Perfect for the mashed potatoes. Go ahead and let it set for a few minutes before cutting into it. This particular recipe serves 6, but I am telling you right now that the night you make this, there's no way you're only going to have 1 serving. And if you're making this for more than 2 people, I suggest doubling up on the ingredients and making 2 pies. You will be so happy you did it. It reheats just fine the next day. You can serve this along with salad, but alone it is so filling, so good. It is a heavier meal, so go ahead and indulge. Do not feel guilty. Just because you are plant-based or vegan does not mean that you have to miss out on all these great traditional recipes. Scooping up all the good stuff in there. So I did want to share that I looked up shepherd's pie before making this video just because I have seen so many people post about it this week in light of St. Patrick's Day. And the funny thing is that there are so many debates online about whether this originated in Ireland, Scotland, or Britain. And I am in no way saying that this is an authentic recipe passed down to me. I am just sharing the love. I promise you this is a recipe that the whole family will enjoy. You'll definitely want to come back for seconds. Let me know if you decide to try this recipe out yourself and what you thought about it. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you being here. And please be sure to subscribe for weekly meatless ideas. Take care, have a fun and safe weekend, and I will see you back for another recipe next week.
Oh,